Hello, Jax West from Stephen Avery Project, Justice with Jax, MAM Gossip. We are live right now at 1 p.m. Central Time on what is today's date? August 10th. We are live today to go over once again our memorial for Dolores that we have next week. Is that next week already? Holy shnikes. And the rally. So let me cover that stuff first and get out my little notebook here. Hello, Christopher, where I've got everything written down there. Hello, Ray. All right. So what we have scheduled so far is Friday, August 20th. So next Friday, hello, Sasha. August 20th is Dolores Avery's birthday. And so we are doing a memorial for her at Waupun Correctional where Stephen is. And hello, Stacy. So we are going to be doing this vigil from 8 to 9 p.m. at Waupun Correctional. We will also be live here on Stephen Avery Project for those of you who are not able to attend. If you are, please come and join us. Yay, Stephanie, you got your stickers. Good to know. So I am staying at the American by Wyndham in Waupun. So if you want to book a hotel room there, that's where we're going to be. Hello, Bryce. That's where Bryce is going to be. So you can check into the hotel at 3 p.m. So I figured we'll do what I've titled as a meet and greet, but that will be people who are staying at the hotel from 5 to 6. We'll meet down by the bar if people are in already. And then we'll be going to dinner between 6:30 and 7:30. And then we'll go to the rally or the memorial at Waupun. The hotel is 5 minutes away from the prison. So we'll just be going to dinner somewhere nearby and then going to the prison, which I've said at the vigil from 8 to 9 p.m. Central Time. So it's 1:05 p.m. So figure 7 hours from now in your time zone is when we'll be doing the memorial, and we'll do a Facebook Live. I'm asking people if you are attending that prepare something if you would like, or if you just like to speak from the heart, we'd like people to say a little something about Dolores. Her favorite color was purple. So if you would like to wear purple, and if you would like to bring purple flowers or purple candles, we have had a longtime supporter who donated money for me to buy flowers for a memorial for Dolores. So I was thinking of getting purple forget-me-nots if I can get those in the arrangement, because forget-me-nots are the flower for dementia. So we'll have some kind of flower memorial that is set up there, and then we'll be doing, while it's being called a candlelight vigil or a candlelight memorial, I thought it would be best if we didn't have lit candles and having to worry about that. So I did buy these LED tea lights, and my husband then painted them all purple. So I've got 50 of these, and we'll pass them out to the people who attend. So the vigil. So we'll have these, but if you want to bring a candle, if that's something that you want to do, or something that you would like to add for a memorial. But we're not doing, people have suggested releasing balloons. We don't do that. That's not good for the wildlife and kills the animals. So no on that. So so that memorial will be Friday, so next Friday, not this coming Friday, but next week, from 8 to 9 p.m. at Waupun Correctional. Hi, sexy girlfriend Miley. Then one of our moderators, Christopher, yes, Debbie, the vigil is for Dolores. So Christopher makes all kinds of soap, whether or not it is soap for your or cleaners, maybe cleaners for your skin, cleaner for your toilet, because he makes these fabulous toilet bombs. So, and I don't know if he will post the link to his Etsy store for his soap because he really doesn't want attention for his soap, but he has made that have been sent to me. These will be going to the people that attend the memorial. So purple soap, lilac scented soap. And then my husband who owns the print shop will be printing a sticker for me to put on these for this Dolores memorial. So those will get passed out to people. So it was a nice little donation. Just like, and like the Christopher didn't even want me to say anything about that. It's just something he wanted to do nice for the people who were going to be there. But it just arrived yesterday to me in the mail. So here it is, his soap that people will be getting for at the Dolores Memorial. That is on Friday. Um, Next week on the 20th. So then on Saturday, oh, Christopher, you've had somebody asking for the name of the store and the link. Um, so the memorial is on Friday, August 20th, and then the rally is on Saturday the next day, August 21st. So we'll be doing that rally from 1 tentatively to 3 p.m. Central Time. So the time that this started today, that's what time the rally will start, and we will go live from the rally. And don't know it. Everything's going to depend on the weather and what is going on. Because if it's really hot, I'm not going to expect people to be out there for a full 2 hours. But I did have my husband make, which will be passed out to the people that attend the rally on Saturday the 21st, are these fans that on one side says, just a simple free Stephen Avery. And then on this side, it's free Stephen Avery and then never give up with the Firebird thing logo. So it's just so it's two things in one. So you'll be able to show your support for Stephen, that we want a free Stephen Avery, and try and keep you cool there. So there's no charge for these for the people who are attending the rally. I'm just, while I only had Jeff make 50 of them. I don't know if we'll even get 50 people at the rally, but we've made 50. So these just will get passed out there. So my tentative schedule for the rally would be, so the rally is from 1 to 3 p.m. and at the American Hotel, okay, should be only about 80 on both days. Nice, Bryce. There's a pool. And so I'm like, oh, we can do pool time, when you're being outside for a couple hours, we'll go to the pool. But you obviously would have to be somebody who is staying at that hotel to be able to go to the pool. So I was figuring pool time from 3:30 to 5ish. And then those that want to meet for dinner, we'll be figuring out for sure restaurants in the area. So if you're not staying at that hotel and want to meet us for dinner, it's not people staying at this hotel only thing. But then we will be doing a happy hour from 8 to 9 p.m. at the hotel. The hotel's got a bar, so I figure we'll be in the hotel bar. I don't think you need to be staying at that hotel to be in the bar because, of course, they'll like to take your money if you're buying any drinks or whatever. And we'll be doing a Facebook Live of the happy hour. And I would just be asking the people who attended in person if now, you can talk about the the vigil and the rally and how you thought it went, or talk about your thoughts on the case, or about Stephen, or about Dolores, or whatever. So that's scheduled from 8 to 9 on next Saturday night, the 21st. So, and also for the people who are going to be there is a Taco Bell and an A&W and a McDonald's that are nearby the prison too. So there's plenty of, quick lunch choices. And Christopher has a events for those Facebook events. So click that you're going to the events. And for those of you who are not able to attend in person, there will be threads that are made, one for each day, that, make a sign or make a shirt to show your support of Stephen or remembering Dolores, and post the picture of you and your sign, or just your sign, or your dog and your sign, or your shirt, or whatever you make, and then where you're from, and post it in that thread. So that's how we want y'all to be part of the day. And then, so this started out with, so like this fan, I wanted to do something for people who are attending. So it's like, all right, and Christopher and I were talking about it, and make this sticker. And we had posted that, the free Stephen Avery sticker. Now, Stephen has been very vocal on he doesn't want anybody selling stuff that has his name and or his likeness, and really doesn't want his family making money off of him. So that's why I'm like, all right, I'll make these stickers, but I'm just giving them to the people at the rally. And so then we had posted it because we're like, oh yay, look at these things, that my husband made the sticker, and it's what did he say it was? 5 year something vinyl, so like mine is on my car, my back window, so it's something that um can be out in the weather, and but it's not going to last forever, but you can have it in your car and go through the rain and all that. um so we had posted it, and then people were asking about buying it, which makes me very uncomfortable because of Stephen not wanting things sold. So what we've done is we now started an Etsy store. The Etsy store is using my Justice with Jax. Justice with Jax is, I advocate for a bunch of different cases of the wrongfully accused, and not just wrongfully accused, just injustices, period. Um, so there's a Justice with Jax Etsy store that has these stickers on that we have on there for dirt cheap. There's it's $1 a sticker, and then Christopher made it, and there he just posted the link. Christopher made these deals for multi-packs and all that, where basically what is being charged for this sticker is what it's costing me to ship it out. That I'm not making money off of these free Stephen Avery stickers. This price of $1 though is going to increase next week after the rally because people were asking about other stickers. So we did add, so there's this one, free Brendan Dassey with a dragonfly. This is the logo my husband made for Brendan years ago, back when I was talking with Brendan and I was a moderator for Barb's family group. Uh, the dragonfly just became Brendan's symbol, and Brendan's favorite colors are orange and green. So that's why there's the two colors on here. So we've got the free Brendan Dassey sticker. This one says justice for Melissa, and then it's the hashtag Melissa's Army. Melissa Kaluzinski is another case of Kathleen Zellner that I advocate for, who is innocent, and monarch butterflies is one of her favorite things. So this is the Melissa sticker. Then there's just the Justice with Jax that has a monarch. I like butterflies as well. So there's the regular Justice with Jax. And then there's the souped up version that has the vagina bat on it. That says on the bottom of it, vagina bat does what vagina bat wants. And the thing with vagina bat, which is really funny too, that I was just sent screenshots last night that Carla Chase and her minions in one of the multitude of groups that um, Carla is in with people who think Stephen is guilty. Um, I am an activist for many things. And one of the things I do is counter protest bad people who have bad signs. And that I have these pink, hot pink wings that go 6 feet out this way and 6 feet out that way. So when I want to block somebody's sign, I just stand in front of them with these hot pink wings. Um, it's something that's from the people who counter this hate group, the Westboro Church. That's what it's called, right? Westboro Memphis Church, something like that. So that's where the idea of those wings came from. And Carla and her minions, because all they want to do like to do is troll people and make fun of people. So they have posted the picture of me with those wings on and referred to it as vagina bat, which they think is like a dig on me that I would be upset about. But I mean, I literally have a uterus tattooed on me. Um, so I'm like, vagina bat, that's awesome. Love it. That they called it vagina bat. And so my husband made me, we made these shirts actually last year for the rally with the vagina bat on it. Um, and so I was just sent screenshots this morning that I guess somebody got muted because Facebook took that as a bullying thing of somebody making fun of me with the whole vagina bat thing. So they got in trouble. um, which, I mean, it's so funny how much those people got to talk about me. Um, but I totally understand, though, too. The Facebook is really cracking down on language. We have had that not really here on Stephen Avery Project, our subgroup, MAM Gossip, which is where we really get into the dirt of the case. Um, we've been flagged multiple times in there from people making comments that Facebook then pulls. And even one of the moderators posted something. I don't know. I don't even remember what it was. I think they called somebody, said the word slut, I think is what they said. And so Facebook flagged that and removed it and then gave the group a warning or whatever. So that's why I'm somebody who has very vulgar language, but I try on Facebook now, instead of saying the word or typing the word that I mean, I replace it with the word Smurf. Don't know if any of you ever watched the cartoon The Smurfs and how they said Smurf in place of words all the time. I don't know. It's something I started doing years ago. I used to have a reality TV website that was focused on all um, uh, reality TV shows, and I told you I have a vulgar mouth, and I was saying something about somebody on one of the shows, and I would get people who would then respond to it of that I am a journalist and it's very unprofessional for me to be speaking like that. So back then was the first time that to be passive aggressive, I started using Smurf instead of the word. And so it's just been my go-to thing since then. So since Facebook has been really trying to crack down on that, Christopher, you're posting all those links. Make sure you post a link to your soap Etsy store. I know you don't want to do it, but do it. Um, so so I'm not going to fault those trolls who like to rip on me that they got put in Facebook jail or muted or whatever it was, because MAM gossip deals with it as well. So I try to make sure to tell you all, be nice, you know, and it's not us that's coming down on you, so try not to be mean, because Facebook's in a thing right now that they're really going to crack down on that stuff. So these are the various stickers that we have in the oops, the vagina bats turned around, that we have in the Etsy store currently. I just over the weekend I was coming up with a ton of other ideas for things for Jeff to make a sticker of. So so stay tuned. But the price, I think the thing Christopher and I talked about is the stickers are going to increase to 250 instead of, because Jeff, my husband who owns the print shop, is just, he's like so upset that I'm charging only $1 for the sticker, because it's like not even really covering the cost, you know, of what he does, because I'm not paying for these. My husband owns the print shop, and so I just say, hey, print me these. Um, but there's the vinyl and the ink, and then the time it takes for him to do the setup and make these different designs and all that stuff. So it's like, so if somebody was just to go to his print shop and say, I want a bunch of such and such stickers, they would not be $1 a sticker. It would be more than that. But I wanted to really make sure, because again, with Stephen being, really not wanting people to make money off of his name. But then it's, when I'm selling stickers like this, it's my name, Justice with Jax. It's me. Um, so I don't have to um, be as careful on all of that. Um, Michelle, can you get one of each on Friday when I see you? Sure. But the free Stephen Avery ones, I'm hoping to have 50 of them next week, that at the rally, that will be free to the people who attend the rally. So these ones will be free. But that's how it started, where I had said to Jeff, make me 50 of these. I'm going to take them to the rally. And I have currently sold, or actually, I shouldn't say sold. I have filled and shipped off the order 160 stickers. And I currently have several orders that are waiting now because I'm out of the Stephen Avery sticker. And Jeff says I should have them today or tomorrow, I think he said. Um, so yeah, so I originally had him make just 50 of them for me to bring to the rally, and 160 of them have sold. So yeah. Um, and while I'm talking about that, Christopher asked me to do this on the last live that we did last week. I'll do it again because Christopher thinks people might find it interesting to see where it is around the world that people have ordered the stickers from. And so when I'm taking the orders, I have been writing down how many stickers they were getting, their name, and what country or where they're from. So here we go. UK, New York, Wisconsin, New Jersey, Canada, Wisconsin, Canada, UK, Texas, Indiana. What is that? I can't. Oh, that has to be an O. Ohio, Colorado, uh, Louisiana, Australia, Tennessee, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, UK, California, Wisconsin, Australia. I can't read my writing again to know what where that is. Why can't I read my own writing? Okay, California, Oklahoma, Canada, France, New York, Denmark, UK, Germany, Washington, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Sweden, Canada, Wisconsin, Indiana, and Michigan. So those are what we have currently of the different places that have ordered the stickers. So thank you very much for those of you who have ordered the stickers. If you've got ideas of other stickers, um, I've got several different ideas that I just sent to my husband yesterday. I thought about them on the weekend, and then I think I emailed it to him yesterday. Tons of ideas. So feel free to send me ideas that you think would be a good sticker, and then we keep toying with if we're gonna do shirts or not. Shirts, it's a lot of work to to do shirts. And my husband's print shop is he's the only employee on these things. I go and help him. But then to get the shirts for less of a cost, the more shirts you order, the less they are per shirt. But we've done in the past where we've ordered a whole bunch of shirts and then like we did for Brendan, and then the shirts didn't sell. And so to this day he still has orange and green t-shirts that nothing got printed on because the orders didn't come in, and so it's money he's lost. So I don't know. I do have a shirt. I need him to make me actually, and this is the one I had him make last year for the rally, which is this on a shirt. Um, I have him making me a special one for Dolores's memorial. So maybe we'll end up doing shirts. And I do have that I'll be bringing that I've talked about is the masks that are left over that I made last year for the rally. So it says Rally for Stephen, Never Give Up, and then Waupun Correctional Institution, and then the date and the time that our rally was last year. So I've got like 27 of these left. So these, so people who are at the rally, if you want a rally mask from last year, I'll bring those. So I think I covered all that. And again, showing Christopher soap. Did Christopher post his link yet? Christopher, did you post your link to your Etsy store for your soap? It smells so good. Um, Something else I can talk with y'all about is I just sat, so the 2 hours prior to going live today, I've been trying to do 2 hours on the weekdays that I'm back to working on my book that I started years ago about um, my experience in advocating for this case and the things that have happened to me. So it's things on the case and my feelings on the case and the things I've learned from my trips to Manitowoc, and then the experiences that I've dealt with by people trying to tear me down due to standing up for Stephen Avery. So I've been working on the book. So I did my 2 hour shift right before this one. Um, so I'm now at 123 pages and it's 34,076 words. So 123 pages done so far. Um, I don't know when it'll be done. I've only been working on it again now. I think this was my third day. I just started last week. Christopher wants me to in our MAM gossip group. I think that's where he wanted me to do it was MAM gossip. Um but giving you guys a little teaser like on a Friday or something where we'll post like a paragraph from my book before it's been published. So yeah, so I've been working on that too. Somebody asked, have I talked to Stephen again? No, I only talked to Stephen that one time when recently when he called me a couple weeks ago. I do know somebody who I talk with who is having a Zoom visit with him today. And it's the first time they're doing a Zoom visit with him. So that's awesome. Red Lobster. Um, so I'm hoping to talk to Stephen prior to the memorial and the rally. I sent her a message today, but I don't know if she'll see it though before she does her Zoom visit with Stephen. But so hopefully I'll talk to him soon. But no, I have not heard from him personally. Everything's gone through somebody else. Um, but working on my book, it's so putting me right back into the case on things. Like the thing that I just left off with it before coming live is talking about how suspicious Link and Colburn are. And I was talking about Colburn's testimony and the playing of the phone call when he called in the license plate, which to me is shady at AF because how is he calling in the plates and what the make and model of the car is on his day off. Um oh gosh, is Chuck on here, Anna? I see you addressing Chuck. Did he post? Because I know he posts in these lives, but he also has me blocked. Um, so did he post again? Or are you just saying in general? Um, I'm also getting distracted because I was like trying to look up Christopher's Etsy store. Um, where is it? Okay, good. Thank you, Anna. Because I'm like, oh no, did he post again? Um, I'm just saying, yeah. Um, Chuck. Who else thinks there's suspicious stuff with Chuck Avery? We know I did that live video last year. Did we do it here on Stephen Avery Project or was it in MAM Gossip? That was with Kim Ducat, Stephen's cousin, who talked about that Chuck raped her and that we know that Chuck raped a daughter of his or two. And we know Chuck and Earl Avery, both of them, have been accused of raping and beating past wives. There's just a whole lot there. And when you listen to the Stephen jail calls that somebody had FOIA'd, and we did the Stephen jail calls for a period of time. I was doing stuff on YouTube because of Facebook cracking down on so much. I'm like, okay, maybe I need to start doing things elsewhere so things won't get censored or whatever. So I was trying it on YouTube and I don't really like that either. But so there is a Justice with Jack's YouTube page where we did the Stephen jail calls. And so you hear in those calls that Chuck was having a relationship with Stephen's girlfriend Jody. And this isn't the first time that Chuck was making advances on his brother's girls. And then there's been customers who have talked about um, Chuck being inappropriate. Look at Christopher go. There's the live of the one with Kim Ducat, but it's still not your Etsy store, Christopher. I'm gonna find it and um if I can multitask here. I don't know if I can multitask. Why when I'm putting that in I can't find it. Sorry, getting distracted. Is it on your stickers? I'm so gonna find it, Christopher, so you better post it because I'm gonna find it. I can't keep doing it right now because I'm getting so distracted and trying to do it and figure it out. Um so post a link to your soap store, Christopher. I've got tons of soap from Christopher. So good. Oh, how did the job hunt go? Didn't get the job. Wah wah. Um, but okay, so back to Chuck. And it there's gonna be in my book, there will be a chapter on both Chuck and Earl and my interactions with all the players. Um, so I'll be falling down the Chuck rabbit hole very soon, like I am currently with Colborne, because I just talked. So I was just doing the license plate. I haven't gotten to the key or the bullet yet. You know, it's so suspicious that these people that were part of the Penny Bernstein case are the ones to find the key and the bullet. It's just, hmm, too much of a coincidence. And Lincoln Colborn are there every time. So not cool. Ha ha! Debbie posted it. Oh, see, that's what I was doing wrong. I had I before the R. Duh, and it's Christopher. Why wouldn't I? It's I'm so dumb that I misspelled it. Ha ha! Debbie posted it. Eh. Um, do I think Chuck had something to do with the murder or the framing or both? Bobby's blazer was crushed. How many days after? I mean, not long after. Chuck and Earl would have had to have done that. Bobby, because the crusher at Avery Salvage back then was not owned by Avery Salvage. It was leased or borrowed or whatever from somebody else. So they're not gonna let just anybody use it. Certainly not this young punk. So Chuck and or Earl crushed Bobby's truck. Why? And what evidence was possibly in that truck that then got crushed? So I think Chuck and or Earl are part of something. If I say over and over again, the only thing I know for sure is Stephen and Brendan are innocent. If something came out to say here beyond a shadow of a doubt, Chuck did it, Earl did it, even though that's not what I think, I wouldn't be surprised. I really think it is Bobby Dassey. Norbs. Thank you, Anna. Norbs is who owned the crusher. Greg says, do you believe the witness that saw Bobby and the bearded man pushing the Rav? Yes, I do. And that person was actually posting in MAM Gossip for a little while. Um, I do believe they saw it. And there are so many people who saw something back then and said something back then, and the cops did nothing with it. And they feel they did their due diligence. I told them it must not be important, so this one's told, we have who did it, we know who did it, okay. And it isn't until the years later when they watch Making a Murderer that they're like, oh my God, now you're suspect of, okay, but I saw this. Was this even reported? Because you're seeing how Colborn is told that they have the wrong person for Penny Bernstein and he doesn't write a report, does nothing. So you think when you tell somebody something, when you call Manitowoc Sheriff's Department and say, hey, I deliver the newspaper there and I saw this at this time, that okay, they took that under advisement. And it's not somebody who lives in Wisconsin anymore. You don't know their situation of when they got Netflix. So it's not until years later that they watch Netflix and see, hey, this thing that I know, that I thought or that I know I told people, I think is important to this case. And we have people who come forward to us here at Stephen Avery Project of, I saw such and such. There's people that have come to us saying they saw Teresa Halbach leave the salvage yard. And there are other people who saw that car. And so the thing that I always tell people is bring it to Kathleen Zellner. When you go to her website, KathleenTZellner.com, she has a page for Stephen Avery. There is a thing where you can fill out to, through the website, send her a message. And then she also has an email address and a phone number that is strictly for things involving Stephen's case. So send it to Kathleen. And if you don't hear back from her, send it again. You don't know if something happened to it, whatever, send it to her. And don't think that she must know this already. You never know. So send her that information. Maybe she's got somebody else. So like look at when you have these witnesses that see the car at the dam, the turnaround on 147. The more people that then come forward saying, I saw this on November 3rd, I saw this on the 4th, I saw, which, Teresa Halbach was at the salvage yard on Halloween. That's the day she allegedly goes missing. And Stephen is prosecuted. Their whole narrative is Stephen does not leave the salvage yard. So people seeing the RAV4 on November 3rd, November 4th, at the turnaround on 147, that's big. And when you have just one person who says it, people are like, but if you have multiple people, especially if these people that you can see on record did try and say something back at the time, these aren't people that are just coming forward now because, oh, I want to get involved in the making a murderer world and get some attention for it. These are, so you're helping other people who came forward, or whatever it is that that maybe it's not something that's been out on the case publicly before. Maybe there's other people who have reported that to Kathleen, and now you saying that such and such cements that as well. So I'm always telling people, you reach out to Kathleen Zellner, tell her what you know. Things can get lost, send it to her again. My problem with the new witness is Colborne's plate call. If Colborne found the RAV, how was Bobby seen pushing the RAV onto ASY? I can't figure out how both would happen. All right, so this guy saw the car early Saturday morning, the day the car was found. So the car, the Pam of God, found the RAV4 at like 11 a.m. on the Saturday. Stephen and Dolores and Chuck, they all went to Crivets on the Saturday. So this person was there before dawn delivering papers on Saturday morning. So it is before these people left for Crivets. Bobby, who didn't go to Crivets, is seen pushing it on. So, oh, now I'm singing Salt and Pepper in my head. Push it. That would be the 4th. or the 5th. It's the night of so somebody's seeing it at the turnaround on the 3rd or the 4th. It isn't moved to the salvage yard yet. It is moved. I think in that guy's affidavit, it said the time. It's like 4 a.m. or something on the Saturday. It's before dawn. So that all fits, that the car was seen November 3rd or 4th, and it's found at the salvage yard on the 5th in the morning. This guy was there at like 4 a.m. and the car was found at like 11 a.m. I'm bad with numbers, so don't hold me to those times exact. So, because that was something that when that witness first came out, I had to dig back into things because I was like, okay, how does that fit with Crivets? Because Chuck went to Crivets. It was Earl who was working the salvage yard that day. But the salvage yard is only open, really short Saturday hours. But everybody else was in Crivets. Not everybody, but a lot of the Averys were in Crivets, and they left Saturday. So Stephen worked his normal Friday, and then Saturday he drove his mom, and I think Brendan went with him too. Or did Brendan go with Chuck? I can't remember. Um, but the family goes up to Crivets they've got a lot of acreage up in Crivets in northern Wisconsin, with a lake and woods and all this. So that's where they spend a lot of weekends, and that's where Alan Avery lives mostly, is up in Crivets. So that's another thing that I've always said too, when it's like, would Stephen really go to Crivets on Saturday if he just killed somebody on Monday and he still has things to hide and um cover up? And wouldn't you not go? That your whole family is going on the weekend, so that's the perfect time to get rid of everything? Because why would you just leave the car there on your property when you have a car crusher? And one of the Avery family had told me on one of my trips up to the salvage yard was, what you do is you crush the car, and then you take that rectangle crushed vehicle, put it in another vehicle, and then crush that. Poof, gone. So why wouldn't Steven stay home when he knows everybody's going to Crivets? Because that's the excuse that's given on why the car isn't initially crushed is, well, everybody's around and it's got, he'll get caught. People will see that he's crushing that car. So why would he go to Crivets then when he knows everybody's going to Crivets? He could stay home and crush that and get rid of everything. But no, he goes out of town for the weekend. And he knows she's missing, or that she's been reported missing. She was reported missing on the 3rd, and he's leaving on the 5th to go to Crivets. He's not on the run. You don't go to your property somewhere else if you're on the run. I don't know how loud a car crusher is, but I would think it's fairly loud. But it, and you have to remember where that is in the salvage yard. That's the furthest point away from where the residences are, back there in the corner. And then you've got the gravel pit, or the quarry that's back there. So, and who would think twice about a car crusher running around a salvage yard? So you absolutely could crush it, and people wouldn't think twice about those noises. So, but if Stephen were guilty, he absolutely wouldn't go to Crivets that weekend when on the 3rd is when the family reports her missing. Vicky, we will be live. The rally is scheduled to be from 1 to 3 next Saturday. And we may be live for like an hour of it. So then I don't know how many people are going to be there. It might not be a big showing. Um, you don't know until you get there how many people are going to be there, and COVID rearing its ugly head again. But we will be live for both the rally and the memorial. That's next Friday night. So on August 20th, the 20th and the 21st. But yeah, so Stephen absolutely would have crushed the car. He wouldn't keep, well, the key itself is just so stupid because that's not her keys. That's her spare key. It's something that both Thomas Pierce, the guy from the photography studio, and her friend that she had gone on vacation with in August, both of them had testified that Teresa was super paranoid about losing her keys. So that's the whole thing with the long lanyard. So if you are worried about losing your keys, you're not going to have carry just one your car key. Where's her house keys? Where's the photography studio keys? Does she have a key to her parents' house that's next door? Um, and it's clear because you can look it up for that RAV4, the main key and your valet key, your spare key, it's shaped differently. Okay, so it's just it's fact. There's no denying it's fact. That's her spare key. Plus, there would be a fob. Where's that? To automatically unlock your doors. Where's that? Where'd that go? How come that's nowhere? And then when you look at the amount of wear and tear that's on that spare vehicle or spare key, for somebody who basically drives for a living, that you're driving around from place to place to take pictures, whether or not it was her personal photography thing, working for Thomas Pierce or for Auto Trader. She's driving around, going places and taking pictures. So the key's going in the ignition and out, in the ignition and out, in the ignition and out. There would be more wear and tear on that key. It looks brand spanking new. Could even be brand spanking new, since we know Manitowoc made a key. Then we know her DNA's not on it. How is this key that she's always touching, that she's always using, does not have her DNA on it? But there's Stephen's on there. Not Stephen's blood, bleeding from his finger. No blood on it. But then when Kathleen recreates it and has Stephen hold a key and let go and all that, it's not the same kind of transference. And Colborne is there when the key is miraculously found. All of a sudden, this teeny tiny bedroom had been searched for months, um, or however long it was, um, torn apart. They do not find this key. They trash his trailer. I mean, they're cutting down walls and pulling up carpeting and taking pipes out of the bathroom. Um, and he says he shook that little bookcase, and actually it's a record album case thing, this end table thing. He shook it quite forcefully. That got this key that they're claiming that Stephen had hidden in the back, was able to wedge its way out of the particle board or whatever in the back and go around a corner and land by his slippers on the floor. And when they take the picture of the key, everything is all nice in that case. Even change on top of. They put it all back. They were so nice to put things away and put it back all nice in the exact same spots that it was in prior to shaking it so a key pops out, flies out the back. Watch Making a Murderer when Jody goes into that trailer and she's trying to find her purse and how trash that place is. But this bookcase, everything's all back and nice in there. Change right there. We'll put all that stuff back. They cared so much. They took such care of Stephen's belongings. And it's Lank and Colborne who are there, who had just been doing depositions in the $36 million suit, and they're not the ones that are supposed to be a part of anything. It's all so suspicious and everything is tainted. They never should have let Manitowoc be anywhere near this case. So therefore, by allowing Manitowoc to be there, Stephen was never given a fair shot in our judicial system, period. Everything should have to be thrown away. You got big hair Sherry Culhane, who was part of the Penny Bernstein case. She is the one that had the DNA, had the pubic hair that proved it wasn't Stephen, and sat on it for, was it years? And now in this case, she gets the little note saying, put her in his house or garage. She made sure that happened. She also tainted the evidence, but they didn't throw it out. So all these players that were part of the first wrongful conviction of Stephen Avery are now the ones to find all this evidence that claim he did something to Teresa Halbach. The coroner is, I mean, that was in the second season of Making a Murderer. Just how, I mean, we knew what was done to that coroner. It's awful. It's gone to the Supreme Court before. The Supreme Court wouldn't do anything about it. That's why Kathleen has to keep finding new evidence. When they shoot down one thing, she's got to have something ready to go. That's why I'm always telling people, you got to tell, if you know something, you got to tell Kathleen. And no, I have not heard from Stephen lately. Just a couple weeks ago, I talked to him on the phone. That one time a couple weeks ago. I haven't heard from him since. Free Stephen Avery. Just, you don't have to like Stephen. You don't have to like him as a person to know that he is innocent of this alleged crime. The evidence is all tainted. And we do have, so what is it, the 28th? Is it? I don't have it on here. It's on my thing downstairs. I think the 28th is when we're going to hear on a new filing. So whenever this next filing happens, oh my gosh, what time is it? I've got a Zoom I have to be on in in 20 minutes. Um um what was I saying now? I got distracted by, oh my god, when is the Zoom? I don't know what I was talking about then when I got distracted by I need to do that Zoom at 2:30. Have seen the new YouTube Guilted? I don't know what that is. So no, I have not seen it. Do I think Colborne might have felt guilty about not checking up on the tip that he got in the 90s so that his entire department was on the line in the civil suit, and that's why he might have participated in the 2005 cover up? Mm-hmm. How much for the stickers? It's listed on the Etsy store. They're $1 each, and then there's multi-pack specials. So it's like 5 for $4 or something like that. But that price is only through the rally, and then it's going to be going up to 250. Yeah, good old Jim and Andy. Yeah, um so we'll see whatever that is that comes out on August 28th. And we'll go live as soon as we know what it is, and we'll post it for y'all if we can, if we're able to find it, and then I go live and we read it and learn about it all together. So all right, so I guess I need to call this to a close since I've got the live or the Zoom that I have to do. um, I don't know when I am live next. I've been doing these lives on Tuesdays for to give the update on the rally, but I'm going out of town Tuesday and Wednesday next week. So maybe I'll go live on Monday instead. And I'm also thinking of doing a live in our MAM gossip group. Our MAM gossip closed group, that's where we really dig into a lot of dirt on the case. And I say things in there that I don't say here on Stephen Avery Project. So, so I haven't been live in there in a little bit. So we'll be doing that soon too. But I always talk with Christopher on that, and then Christopher makes the events and puts out the reminders for y'all, so you can know what is going on and when I will be live. So let me summarize before I go that. So we've got next Friday, not this coming Friday, next Friday on Dolores's birthday, August 20th, we'll be doing the Candlelight Memorial tribute to Dolores at Waupun Correctional in Waupun, Wisconsin, where Stephen Avery is, and that will be at 8 p.m. Central Time. So it is currently 2:10 p.m. here in the Central Time Zone. So it is at 8 p.m. Central Time that we will be doing a live from Stephen Avery Project from the memorial. And then the next day on Saturday from 1 to tentatively 3 p.m., it's going to depend on weather, we'll have the rally at Waupun Correctional that we will be live then too. So, and your free Stephen Avery stickers are free to people who attend the rally. We have them in the Justice with Jack's Etsy store for you to buy, and then I send them out as soon as possible. Like right now, I said I've got a couple of orders that I haven't been able to send out yet because I'm waiting for my husband to make me a new batch because I'm out. So luckily, my local post office is literally half a block away. Um, so it's really easy for me to go to the post office and send stuff off. So, but the stickers, this this sticker and this fan will be given away at the rally for free for the people in attendance, as well as Christopher made this purple lilac soap that I'll be putting a Dolores sticker on that Christopher has donated to pass out to people. All right, so I'm going to go and we'll update you on when the next live will be before our events in Waupun next weekend. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. Investigation continues.